All right, all right, all right. 10 minutes till 8 minutes till open. Um, we sold off like crazy overnight. Wow. We really sold off last night. So we were at 733. Now we're at 200. That's a 500 point move right there. Huge. It's huge. So we're looking bearish. I think we could really go either way today, though. So we just gotta be patient. Again, ES sold off hugely too. There's a pretty big gap right here. 714 to 719. That's massive. It's absolutely massive. So we'll have to wait and see. Hey, Scooby. Hey. Also, feel free to ask any questions that you guys have, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. It's going to be interesting to see how the day shapes out. Already checked the calendar, but I want to reiterate. Got to check the calendar every single day to make sure there's no news, because if there is, you want to be out of the position before the news happens, because they can really get volatile. So we can look here at next week. Not too heavy of a data week, but for example, at 8:45, and I'm on Central Time. At 8:45, we got PMI, and you don't really need to know what PMI is as much as knowing that you should not be in a position at 8:45. Right? So that's 15 minutes after the market opens. Usually when you have data at 8:45, you want to wait to trade until 9 or after the data, but usually 9. Next Friday, we got data at 9 a.m. So same with Tuesday. So it's just something to keep in mind when you're trading. Like, it's very important. Other than that, we are copy trading today, so we want to be patient. We want to be patient. Yeah, we are. Watching this 300 reclaim here on NQ. 300 reclaim or 100 bounce. Could be a break and reversal. 300 reclaim or 100 bounce. Oops. A lot of decent setups today, actually. A lot of times when we get these massive downside moves, we we fucking reclaim it. We go right back up to where we sold off from. So I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but it happens a lot of the times. So far, we're a little bit choppy. Choppy, choppy, choppy. ATR is already super high. Super, super high. Wow. Okay, we gotta keep that in mind. Our position size really doesn't need to be big. We need to be extremely careful. Extremely careful today. Because we don't want to get chopped. We don't want to get caught in chop with high ATR. Do not want to do that. That is the worst situation. I'll be back in a second. I wonder if it's possible to listen to some music. I can't play copyrighted music on my computer because it's gonna flag me, but is it possible? I think it is, obviously. Yeah. I don't know. I can put in both headphones. I don't fucking need. I can talk still. All right. All right. All right. All right. Get the vibes going. All right. So we're looking at this 29,100. Looking at this 29,100. I do not want to be too early to the party on this. I really don't. So we're gonna look for a break and reversal. We're moving a lot, so I don't want to be early to this. So we're not gonna like literally we can miss this before like if it bounces early, it bounces early. It's pretty much what the situation is with this. I'm gonna be trading 6 MNQ max. 6 MNQ max. So that means honestly with this ATR, I'm gonna scale in with 2 at a time instead of 3. We really do not need a lot of size. We're looking at this SPX 7400 too. Um, if it goes early, there's nothing we can do. Really, there's not. Yeah. There's such a massive gap on SPX to fill. It's nutty. 7438 to 7484. That's crazy. Crazy talk. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Oh shit. So I guess the microphone's not working. Um, let's see, remove this. Can you guys hear me now? Oh, okay. All right, all right. Um, or I'm watching that 29. I'm watching that 100 level. I want to see a break and reversal of it. I definitely do not want to be too early to the party here. So watching that 29 100 level, SPX. We're watching 7400. Really just want to see kind of a break of this pre-market low, liquidity grab, and a reclaim. Um, ATR is super high at 1.15, so I'm trading 6 MNQ max today. 6 max. Got to be careful with that. It's also OPEX today too, so keep that in mind. SPY looks weaker than Qs. We really want these to break pre-market low. The 7400 is approaching. We have been trading off SPX's like key levels. Yesterday we were trading off that 7500. So I think that 7400 is going to be a little bit too early um, to want to trade that, especially with the amount that we're moving. want to see a pretty clean break of, well, here's orb. Here's orb. I'd honestly rather take ES 7400 than mess around with this SPX 7400. But if we do, I mean, I'm open to taking this. If we do, I'm okay with missing it more than I am being too early, though. That's for sure. I can't believe how high ATR is. That's nutty. All right, here's that 29,100. That's aligning with 7,400. Let's see if we can get a reclaim of pre-market low off of a level around here. Qs are weaker now. Almost, pretty much. They're both pretty much just as weak. All right, if we can get a break and reclaim of that 29,100, I'll consider going long, which is what's happening. All right, I'm long a little bit. I might stop out if we continue to flush, but see if we can get a reclaim of pre-market low. Um, yeah. This is not going to be a big position since we're weak, but I'm going to trim that some there. I just got 2 MNQ left. It's but hey. All right, I'm going to set stops break even here on those 2 MNQ and hold for high of orb, really. Yeah, see, there was that break and reversal of 100 we were watching. Had a confluence with that 7,400 on SPX, which made me more confident in that. We're moving so much. I'm going to take off another one here, and I'll just hold the next one for the last one for high orb high, which we're probably going to. I might hold the last one just even longer than that, to be honest with you. Wish I went heavier on that. I'm not going to lie. Had a red day yesterday though, so kind of have to get your feet wet again after that happens. So yeah, we got that one MNQ at a break-even stop, risk-free trade. Seeing how high we can go now. These things are moving. ATR is really high, really, really high. Be careful with your position sizing. That's why I was kind of worried. Like I was like, okay, well, I'll get in. I said 6 max, but I was like, dude, I'm just gonna get in 4. I'm just gonna get in 4 and play it more safe. Yeah, targets at orb high. We'll set target to 300. We'll set target to 300. What's this high right here? 89. We'll set it to 90. I'm cool with that. So we're setting the take profit to 90. So we got to stop and we got to take profit. Whatever happens, happens. see what's up. Okay. Oh, say what? There's a dog. All right, let's see what happens here. Hopefully we can hold that. We got to get something good up in here. Yeah, that was. I mean, that was trade I was looking at because we tend to move 200 points um, from the high of day. So I considered this 300. What's 300 minus 200? That's 100. So that's why I was looking for that 100 break and reversal because we've been trading again 200 points away and then reversing off that level. Plus, we grabbed a bunch of liquidity down here. That's a good sign for us. We were at 7,400 here. That's a good confluence for us. So trade had a lot of confluences to it. Honestly, I wouldn't mind adding here. I might add a little bit here. Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit. I like that we held that orb low. I'm gonna be quick though. If this starts going the other way, I'm gonna be quick to close those two runners out because ATR is too high to start messing with. So I'm gonna be very safe with this. I really, like I said, I'm not gonna. ATR is very high, so I'm not gonna let anything go too crazy. I like that we held that 7,400, but what I don't want to do is chop around here. I really don't. Okay. Nice. I'm gonna take one off there. Looking for that orb high now. There we go, guys. I'll take it at that orb high before this candle close. Hopefully that hits orb high. Candle closing in 20 seconds. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a push before then. I'm going to take one off there. All right. I'm holding that last one. I'll hold that till break even. So risk-free trade again. Let's see if we can hold this till yesterday's low on Qs at this point. That would be good. Yeah, if we can get that yesterday's low. I mean, like I said, I've seen days where we sell off tremendously overnight, and we reclaim everything. So I don't want to sell like I don't want to just sell for no reason. Did that a couple days ago and regretted it very, very badly. Like I've literally seen reclaims from we sold off overnight and literally we end up back at the pre-market high. I've seen it before. I've seen it before. If we start to like, okay, you know what? Once we start this gap fill, I'll take profit at this structure. This structure right here, pre-market low of yesterday, and the top of structure, uh, top of structure on the pre-market morning session high. Man, we got to get something good going here. All right. Oh, I already got stopped on that. Already got stopped on that. Um, I'm pretty I'm pretty okay with um, how I with my P&L today. To be honest with you, I'll stay a little bit, but if I trade anything, it'll be to MNQ max at this point. Uh, we rejected that orb high on Qs perfectly. Perfect reject there. Oh, that lined up with 300. See if my I would have taken profit at 300, but I wanted to really see if we could push higher. So ATR is really fucking high. Like probably the highest it's been all month, easily. Sorry, I'm just now seeing this. Okay. Gets kind of distracting with all the chats and stuff. 7,400 on ES would be the next kind of spot I look for. I do have to keep in mind that like I'm a perma bull, so you know it's okay to look for shorts. It's okay. just I don't know. I'd rather trade long. I feel more comfortable with it. I don't know why, but I just feel more comfortable with it. But when we start skipping numbers to the downside, I don't want to be a fucking fool and take a little tiny micro bounce when we're going to the gulag. Right now, this is kind of freaky because we're chopping around ATR super high. There's some traders who like to trade this. They'll just buy the previous candle low and sell the high. Just do that back and forth. Only problem with that is that there's going to be a point where it breaks. So, and it could very well be right now because we've tested it so many times, that pre-market low and orb low. But yeah, a lot of you'll see a lot of traders who trade like that. I mean, that's a fucking massive move. 141 to 281. You know, that'll print, and that's what's happening right now. See, if I went long there, which if I was a DGen I would. If I went long there, I would take half off at VWAP and then hold the rest for high of day, and then turn around and short high of day. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I would have taken that long, but there's no reason to mess around on OPEX. But that even that right there, like one 135 to 200, like that's a fucking 70-point move right there. And it's just boom, buying the lows, buying the bottom of the previous candle, and shorting the top of the high of day. Simple. I can't believe how high ATR is right now. It was higher than me 2 days ago. Actually, no, I don't think that's possible at all. I definitely want to see some type of a break from this range. Mark is trying to decide if SPX wants to hold this 7,400 level. I mean, if we saw what we saw in ES a few days ago, where we just held 7,500, like 7,500 was the low of the day, or sorry, 7,400. 7,400 was the low of the day, and we just fucking. This was the day where we dropped the ball right here. Massive fumble, but what are you gonna do? If we do the same thing with SPX, if 7,400 is the low of SPX and it pulls an ES, that could be again big for the market to the upside. Not too much going on. Not too much going on. This is definitely a scalping type of price action. These earbuds actually sound pretty good. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna use earbuds for music ever. Fuck that. Actually, doesn't sound bad. Started back in the '80s, all up in your nostril. I can buy a coastal. Try to play the middle. The only other trade that I really like is 29,000 bounce. Really. Um, Honestly, if we if I wasn't trading live, I would probably fucking be degenning this range. To be honest with you, um, it's just that's what be happening. Just buy the bottom, sell the top. That's how these fuckers are making so much money doing this with this ATR. It's I just know that it's happened so many times that when I try it, it's not gonna range anymore. It's gonna break down or break up. So the song reminds me of like the Caribbean and the beach. We're gonna have a little rendezvous. Look at that. 100-point bounce right there. 100-point bounce. Like, it's massive. It's massive. Oh, Mr. Magoo. How is he doing? He's having fun. He's being such a good boy, you know. He being my bestest friend. I'm gonna turn off. I'm gonna turn off virtual background. Check out my doggy. It's Scooby. Say hi, Scooby. Say hi. Oh, he's a good boy. He's a good boy, Mr. Maku. It's his birthday next month. It's his birthday next month, Mr. Maku. He's super chill. He's like the chillest dog to ever exist, to be honest with you. See, you can guys can see why I have a virtual background. I'll probably make a video on honestly that range trading. I think that'll help some people. It's I'm trying to keep the mindset that like I just want to like help new traders. Like I really I check my socials. How many views did I get? How many likes did I get? Which is like zero. And that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. Here we go again, y'all. There we go again. Low of day, high of day. If I wasn't, if I wasn't super green, uh, yeah, it's kind of like I'm kind of in a situation where I'm not gonna do this because I don't want to ruin my friendship. But I've been friends with this actor for since like we were little kids. He grew up next to me, and he's got 6 million followers. And I was like, dude, what if I just like asked him to plug me? But that could be terrible because what if they're like, if some people like lose money and they're like, oh, Tyler told me to, to follow these people and he's a scammer and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, yeah, dude, it's kind of too, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. He's like my best friend pretty much. Let's see if we can hold these orb highs. I honestly think I'm done for the day. I really do. But um, if we hold these orb highs, it looks good. I might take a little bit. I might take a little bit. All right, I'm long. Just two. You know what? No. No. Because we've been ranging. I'm not going to do that. If we start to hold it, I'll go long. Like, all right, I'm long again. This is the last time I'm going to try this level. Okay. I'm just trading 2 NQ. Like, I'm not doing anything crazy at all. I'm going to hold this until SPY orb high. That's going to be my take profit for for one of them, and then I'm just going to set stops to break even. And what probably ended up happening was, um, okay, this is not looking how I want it to. Because now Qs are weaker. I'm going to sell one. Um, I'm going to sell it at SPY or high. Yeah, I don't like that Qs are weaker. I really do not like that. All right, I'm selling one. I might sell both. I just don't like that. I don't like that Qs are weaker. I don't like that. The fact that I'm long, that Qs are weaker. I'll set the stop to break even on this. See if we can really get some upward action here. No. If SPY can break orb high, the funny thing is I'm basically just now almost breaking even from that loss that I took on those other two MNQs. So honestly, you need to hold this to really see anything, to really have it be worth it. Could have just held that initial two MNQ, or yeah, but if it doesn't go my way immediately, I don't want to fuck with this ATR. You know, this ATR is way too high, way too high. Let's see if we can hold this into 400. That would be nice. Set a limit order at like 90, 89.75. Like I said, I've seen days where we just re. Why can't I ever think of the word, like, end up where we were yesterday? Like, retrace. Yeah, I've seen days where we retrace, like we have a fucking crazy sell off, and we just retrace the whole thing the next day, especially during OPEX. That's what I've noticed too. Like during OPEX, it happens like more, like it happens. So we'll see if SPY can hold this orb, then we'll be good to go. So we'll see. ATR is just going up and up, so that's why it's like, okay, if ATR is this high, like I'll hold for a big move because we're moving a lot. Q orb bounce does not look bad either, at all. Honestly, I'm not gonna overtrade, but I would take. I would probably take a bounce there at Q orb high. I'll just take one. I'll just take one, just for the game. If we get there though, uh, we might go without it. there's really no need to trade any size today whatsoever. There is no need. See if this will hopefully come up. I would really like to see yesterday's low, but I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be like that. I'm not gonna be greedy like that. I'll still add some at Q orb high. I'll still add some. Open to it. 7 10 50. Yeah. All right. All right, guys. Good session. We'll be back Monday. Peace. Peace and love.